Welcome to Pastor Andrew's Inspirations. If you enjoy these videos, please click on the red subscribe button below and the bell for more. Welcome to our online church, a congregation made up of many from around the world. No offering is necessary. Subscribing and watching the videos will keep us alive under God's watchful eyes. Today, we will be learning about the ancient city of Jerusalem. This is part 7. Jerusalem is situated on the southern spur of a plateau in the Judean Mountains, which include the Mount of Olives and Mount Scopus. The elevation of the old city is approximately 2,490 feet. The whole of Jerusalem is surrounded by valleys and dry riverbeds. The Kidron, Hinnom, and Tyropoeon Valleys intersect in an area just south of the old city of Jerusalem. The Kidron Valley runs to the east of the old city. It separates the Mount of Olives from the city proper. Along the southern side of Old Jerusalem is the Valley of Hinnom, a steep ravine associated in biblical end of times with the concept of Gehenna, or hell. The Tyropoeon Valley commenced in the northwest near the Damascus Gate, ran south-southeasterly through the center of the old city down to the Pool of Siloam, and divided the lower part into two hills, the Temple Mount to the east and the rest of the city to the west. The lower and upper cities described by Josephus. Today, this valley is hidden by debris that has accumulated over the centuries. In biblical times, Jerusalem was surrounded by forests of almond, olive, and pine trees. Over centuries of warfare and neglect, these forests were destroyed. Farmers in the Jerusalem region thus built stone terraces along the slopes to hold back the soil, a feature still very much seen in the Jerusalem landscape. Water supply was always, or has always been, a major problem in Jerusalem, as shown by the intricate network of ancient aqueducts, tunnels, pools, and cisterns found in the city. Jerusalem is 37 miles east of Tel Aviv and the Mediterranean Sea. On the opposite side of the city, approximately 22 miles away, is the Dead Sea, the lowest body of water on earth. Neighboring cities and towns include Bethlehem and Beit Jala to the south, Abu Dis and Ma'al Adumim to the east, Mevazeret Zion to the west, Ramallah and Gavat Zeev to the north. Mount Herzl, at the western side of the city near the Jerusalem forest, is the national cemetery of Israel. The city is characterized by a hot summer Mediterranean climate, with hot dry summers and mild wet winters. Snow flurries usually occur once or twice a winter, although the city experiences heavy snowfall every 3 to 4 years, on average, with short-lived accumulation. January is the coldest month of the year, with an average temperature of 48 Fahrenheit. July and August are the hottest months, with an average temperature of 75.6 Fahrenheit. And the summer months are usually rainless. The average annual precipitation is around 21 inches, with rain occurring almost entirely between October and May. Snowfall is rare, and large snowfalls are even more rare. Jerusalem received over 12 inches of snow on the 13th of December 2013, which nearly paralyzed the city. A day in Jerusalem has an average 9 sunshine hours, with summers averaging similar temperatures as the coastline. The maritime influence from the Mediterranean Sea is strong, in particular, given that Jerusalem is located on a similar latitude as scorching hot deserts not far to its east. The highest recorded temperature in Jerusalem was 111 Fahrenheit from the 28th to the 30th of August 1881, and the lowest temperature recorded was 19.9 Fahrenheit on the 25th of January 1907. Most of the air pollution in Jerusalem comes from vehicular traffic. Many main streets in Jerusalem were not built to accommodate such a large volume of traffic, leading to traffic congestion and more carbon monoxide released into the air. Industrial pollution inside the city is sparse. Emissions from factories on the Israeli Mediterranean coast can travel eastward and settle over the city. Jerusalem climate averages: the record high is 92 Fahrenheit, the average high is 71, and the daily mean is 65 Fahrenheit. The average low is 56 Fahrenheit, and the recorded low is 42 Fahrenheit. Average monthly rainfall is 1.82 inches. Average monthly rainy days is 5.17. Average relative humidity is 46%. The mean monthly sunshine is 283 hours. Jerusalem's population size and composition has shifted many times over its 5,000-year history. Since medieval times, the old city of Jerusalem has been divided into Jewish, Muslim, Christian, and Armenian quarters. Most population data before 1905 is based on estimates, often from foreign travelers or organizations. Since previous census data usually covered wider areas, such as the Jerusalem district. These estimates suggest that since the end of the Crusades, Muslims formed the largest group in Jerusalem until the mid-19th century. Between 1838 and 1876, a number of estimates exist which conflict as to whether Jewish or Muslims were the largest group during this period. Between 1882 and 1922, estimates conflict as to exactly when Jewish became an absolute majority of the population. In December 2007, Jerusalem had a population of 747,600. 64% were Jewish, 33% Muslim, and 3% Christian. At the end of 2005, the population density was 14,893 per square mile. According to a study published in 2000, the percentage of the Jewish in the city's population had been decreasing. This was attributed to a higher Muslim birth rate and Jewish residents leaving. The study also found that about 9% of the old city's 32,488 people were Jewish. Of the Jewish population, 200,000 live in East Jerusalem settlements, which are considered illegal under international law. In 2005, 2,850 new immigrants settled in Jerusalem, mostly from the United States, France, and the former Soviet Union. In terms of the local population, the number of outgoing residents exceeds the number of incoming residents. In 2005, 16,000 left Jerusalem, and only 10,000 moved in. Yet the population of Jerusalem continues to rise due to the high birth rate, especially in the Haredi Jewish and Arab communities. Thus, the total fertility rate in Jerusalem is 4.02, which is higher than the Tel Aviv, 1.98, and well above the national average of 2.9. The average size of Jerusalem's 180,000 households is 4 people. In 2005, the total population grew by 13,000, similar to the Israeli national average. But the religious and ethnic composition is shifting. While 31% of the Jewish population is made up of children below the age 15, the figure for the Arab population is 42%. This would seem to verify the remark that the percentage of Jews or Jewish in Jerusalem has declined over the past 4 decades. In 1967, Jewish accounted for 74% of the population, while the figure for 2006 is down 9%. Possible factors are the high cost of housing, fewer job openings, and the increasingly religious character of the city. Although regular young Haredim are leaving in higher numbers, the percentage of the secular Jewish, or those who wear their faith lightly, is dropping, with some 20,000 leaving the city over the past 7 years as of 2012. They now number 31% of the population, the same percentage as the rising Haredi population. Many moved to the suburbs and coastal cities in search of cheaper housing and more secular lifestyle. In 2009, the percentage of the Haredim in the city was increasing. As of 2009, out of 150,100 school children, 59,900, or 40%, are in state-run secular and national religious schools, while 90,200, or 60%, are in Haredi schools. This connects with the high number of children in Haredi families. While some Israelis avoid Jerusalem for its relative lack of development, religious, and political tensions, the city has attracted Palestinians, offering more job openings than any city in the West Bank or Gaza Strip. Palestinian officials have encouraged Arabs over the years to stay in the city to maintain their claim. Palestinians are attracted to the access to jobs, health care, social security, and other benefits, and quality of life Israel provides to Jerusalem residents. Arab residents of Jerusalem who choose not to have Israeli citizenship can get an Israeli identity card that allows them to pass through checkpoints with relative ease. This card allows them to travel throughout Israel, making it easier to find work. Residents also are entitled to subsidized health care and social security benefits. It benefits that Israel provides. They have the right to vote in municipal elections. Arabs in Jerusalem can send their children to Israeli-run schools, although not every neighborhood has one, and universities. Israeli doctors and highly regarded hospitals such as Hadassah Medical Center are available to residents. Demographics and the Jewish Arab population divide play a major role in the dispute over Jerusalem. In 1998, the Jerusalem Development Authority proposed expanding city limits to the west to include more areas heavily populated with Jewish. Within the past few years, there has been a steady increase in the Jewish birth rate, also a steady decrease in the Arab birth rate. In May 2012, it was reported that the Jewish birth rate had overtaken the Arab birth rate. The city's birth rate stands about 4 children per Jewish family and 3 children per Arab family. In addition, increasing numbers of Jewish immigrants chose to settle in Jerusalem. In the last few years, thousands of Palestinians have moved to previously fully Jewish areas. In East Jerusalem, built after the 1967 Six-Day War. In 2007, 1,300 Palestinians lived in the previously exclusively Jewish neighborhood of Pisgat Ze'ev. They constituted 3% of the population in Neve Yaakov. In the French Hill area, Palestinians today constitute 1/6 of the overall population. At the end of 2008, the population of East Jerusalem was 456,300, comprised 60% of Jerusalem residents. Of these, 195,500, or 43%, were Jewish. 40% of the Jewish population of Jerusalem as a whole, 260,800, or 57%, were Muslim, and 98% of the Muslim population of Jerusalem. In 2008, the Palestinian Central Bureau of Statistics said the number of Palestinians living in East Jerusalem was 208,000, according to a recently completed census. Jerusalem's Jewish population is awesomely religious. Only 21% of Jewish residents are secular. In addition, Haredi Jewish comprise 30% of the city's adult Jewish population. In a marvel seen rarely around the world, the percentage of Jewish men who work, 47%, is exceeded by the percentage of Jewish women who work, 50%. The young and less religious continue to leave. In 2016, Central Bureau of Statistics report, which noted 6,740 people left. The opening of high-speed rail transit to Tel Aviv in 2018. The new Jerusalem Gateway Business District, currently under construction, was designed to alter business, tourism, and hopefully reverse the population exodus. Jerusalem had a population of 804,400 in 2011. Jewish comprised 62%, or 499,400. Muslims were 35%, or 281,100. Christians were 2%, or 14,700. And there were 9,000, or 1%, that were not classified by religion at all. Jerusalem had a population of 882,700 in 2016. The Jewish were 61%. The Muslims were 36%. The Christians were 2%. And as of the unclassified people, 1%, or 10,300, were classed as unclassified. According to Peace Now, approvals for building in Israeli settlements in East Jerusalem expanded by 60% since Trump was the U.S. president in 2017. Since 1991, Palestinians, who make up the majority of the residents, have only received 30% of the building permits. Critics of efforts to promote a Jewish majority in Jerusalem say government planning policies are motivated by demographic thoughts. They seek to limit Arab construction while promoting Jewish construction. The number of recorded building violations between 1996 and 2000 was 4.5 times higher in Jewish areas. 4 times fewer demolition orders were issued in West Jerusalem than in East Jerusalem. Arabs in Jerusalem were less likely to receive construction permits than Jewish. Authorities were much more likely to take action against Palestinian violators than Jewish violators of the permit process. In recent years, private Jewish foundations have received permission from the government to develop projects on disputed lands, such as the City of David archaeological site in the 60% Arab neighborhood of Silwan adjacent to the Old City, the Museum of Tolerance on Mamilla Cemetery adjacent to Zion Square. This was the ancient city of Jerusalem, Part 7. Please stay tuned for Part 8. Adonai Nisi, the Lord is our banner. Remember, if you like these videos, please click on the red subscribe button below and the bell for more. God's blessings be upon this message and us all.